Nobody grinds like us. The network, the DVD, the radio station. Y'all know we support the grind, we promote the grind, and we grind. So check out the artists. This is the industry.
Nobody grinds like us. We here sitting with
the Nature Boy, Sean Dolby, Shawnee Sinatra. How y'all doing?
What's going on, man? It's been a minute you've been out here, man.
Last week, Thursday, made 37 years.
37 years in the game, man.
Professionally. Not amateurly, professionally. Getting checks and royalties. So that's the good part.
So tell the people a little bit about what you've been doing for all of these years.
Started off, the misconception is that I'm a DJ. I'm not a DJ. I'm a producer who knows how to do that. I started off producing when I was a kid, writing songs, and I got my first radio job at age 13 on WPAL, and I went back and forth from WPAL to Z93 and back and forth. The whole time I was always producing records. I produced the first hip-hop single on vinyl in the state of South Carolina with Skipsky and Double D, and I never looked back, man. I never looked back. I've been making beats for everybody. Mr. Taylor, TR Flow, Baby Mama Real, you name it, Mirror Dance, so many records, a lot of groups. I do a lot of music that a lot of people don't even know about either.
Right.
I do a lot of reggaeton. I got a country band. I got a rock band I work with. Do a lot of stuff outside of Charleston. Also did artist development for So Def Records in the early 2000s, late 90s. Little Kim's DJ. I've done a lot.
The fact that you mentioned So Def, that was my next question, because Jermaine Dupri being a producer and a DJ, he always spoke on the advantages. What's the advantages for you being that you are a producer that knows how to DJ?
Oh, there's a hell of an advantage. That's the best advantage. Because one, when you're a DJ, you have a pulse of what the people want currently. You're not expecting it, you're not guessing, you're not going second or third hand. You actually are there in the meat of the pit to see what people are dancing to hear conversations. The people actually tell you what they want, the type of music they want produced. And that makes it better. You also have the advantage of after you make the record, or when you're in the process of making the record, you can play the instrumental in the club and probably do an a cappella blend to it and see how people vibe to just the instrumental before you either sell it or record it or do whatever. Lots of advantages. I think one of the best advantages, you get to promote yourself. Nobody's going to promote you like you. So if you're a DJ and you're working with different artists, there is another advantage to that too, that a lot of people don't realize. Let's say, for example, an artist comes to me now and they got a record, and I play the record in the club, but I can't get nobody to vibe to it as is. But I could take the acapella and blend it with something else. Now I can go back to the artist and say, look, man, your record didn't quite work, but maybe you ought to do this. And you can put them in the right direction of how you want a record to work.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing, because I kind of studied the records you made, like I believe it's Material Girl with Queen Cat, Birthday Girl with OSB, and like you said, Baby Mama Real. And those records have a certain feel where they actually do live in the club.
Yeah, they have lasting power.
Right. So the formula, give the people a little dose of what you do to make.
I really wish the hell I could, because I have no idea what the formula. The formula. My formula is I'm a historian of music. I'm a walking encyclopedia. A lot of my friends, a lot of my friends at the radio station, when they can't think of something, they call me, because I can tell you the name, the artist, the year it was produced. So first you have to study the game, and then I get chord melodies, and chords and melodies from classic records. So I love classic rock and jazz. So I love rock riffs where you can redo now as synth riffs for trap records. And I love gospel and jazz chords, which you can use now for trap, soul, and R&B. So I go back to something that that has that kind of catches me, and then I implement those chord structures or those lead riffs into whatever I'm gonna do. Of course, the drums are really simple because all my drum tracks are drum tracks that I know would work in a club. If you strip everything down and just had a drummer, I go with that. And mostly I think outside the box because I try hard not to listen. Somebody asked me the other day, when I produce so much, what do I do when I want to hear a good record? What do I listen to? I say I go in the studio and make it. I try not to listen to other producers because I don't want to have any element of that sound. That's why I'm kind of to the left when it comes to people who want to work with me, because most people want a sound similar to this producer or that producer. And I say, well, me and my son, Junior, we make Chameleon's originals. You know, and the beautiful thing is I listen to what the artist does and I go completely against what their mainstream is.
Okay.
Because every artist has an opposite side. Like if you know, that's why me and Mr. Taylor have always worked so well. Because one, we're friends before we're musical comrades. Taylor has a nerdy side to him. A humorous, funny, intelligent / Big Bang Theory type of side. And I like to pull that out. I like to dig deep into everybody's MTV mentality and take out their BET mentality. That way I can pull that universal industry standard record out of them. And a lot of artists don't even realize they have it.
True. And what keeps you going? What keeps you making music the way you do and doing all the ventures that you do?
Two things. My desire to win a Grammy Award. If everybody knows me on social media, that is my thing. That is my goal. You can win a Grammy when you're 80 years old. You can win a Grammy when you're dead. You know, I know. That's one. I know I'm not destined to be in the current eye as far as trap forever, because you shouldn't be. But my desire to win a Grammy Award is one. And two, just when I wanted to give up as far as production, I started becoming real close friends with Mossberg, Montana. And Moss, when I listen to Moss, I hear me all the time. Moss is one of those producers that literally, and Doughboy, that literally came from, you could hear the Sean Dolby or my son Friday, Lil Sean, you can hear it in him. And that keeps me going. Youth keeps me going. Youth keeps me going. I'm 50 now, man. I have no idea why I still produce trap music at a high level, but you know.
A lot of people would say that the younger generation would be seen more as competition. So the fact that you just bigged up these producers, you know, and see them as inspiration, when at one point I'm pretty sure, and still now, they see you as inspiration. What makes you have that different mentality?
Well, because in order to be great at something, notice I said great, not number one. In order to be great at something, you have to be a studier of the game. You have to be a master of the craft of what you're doing. The difference between me and a lot of new producers and a lot of new artists is they don't study. They study current according to what the media says is what's current. For example, you got artists who think that a world star hip hop artist is the best and biggest thing in the world. Okay. But world star hip hop artists aren't selling in Europe. They're not breaking no numbers in Japan and China. It's not until maybe you get a couple who slip through the cracks. Future was one of them. Yo Gotti was one of them. But you have to be a study of the game. And I think that being a historian, you have to be not afraid to learn. You can't be afraid to learn. My mom always said, you can learn from a baby. You can learn from a crack addict. You can learn from a dog in the street. So why would I not want to hang out with cats like Moss and and William Dempsey, who I'm going to be doing a project with. Why would I not want to? I love listening to the trap artists here. What discourages me is I have a desire to learn from them, and they don't have a desire to learn from guys like me.
Right.
Or you know, they're not into Black history. You know, and there's Black history right here in our city. They think hip hop started with you know, a lot of people believe that hip hop really started with Chino Dino, and club DJ and hip hop club DJ started with DJ Cool. I'm like, hello.
Yeah, we did a questionnaire like that, and we realized, like, depending on what block you went to,
yeah,
you had a different answer on who started that wave here. So with that understanding, it's been a lot of people who started with you that's still not here today.
Mm-hmm.
So what's some tips on longevity in this game?
Listening. That's it. Listening and implement what you hear. Not listen and put it to the side for 6 years later, you go back and revisit it. Listen, and as soon as you hear the information, you implement it in some form or fashion. I was talking to Lisa Gonzalez recently, who does a lot of the panels. And I was like, you know what tickles me is that the information we're given now is the same information we was giving out in the 80s. It never changes. There's no shortcuts. So longevity comes from listening and not thinking you're God's gift to everything when you really in your heart know you're not. And most of all, do this with a purpose, man. I never had a day job. You know, this is how I feed my kids. This is how I put my kids through school, through college. I got 6 kids, you know, and all of them are satisfied, either going to college or now doing well from this. And be honest with yourself. If what you're working on and the information doesn't work for you, maybe there's another thing in the industry you can do. You might not be the best artist, but you're a good writer. You probably are a great producer and don't know it. Or you can start your own publishing company and just publish people's records for people who are too lazy to publish their own or do their own copyrights. But listen and implement what you're doing, and you'll realize that if you listen, you'll notice the changes that goes through music periodically. You'll also realize that music revives itself every 10 years. So we're about to get a rush back to the party. When it comes to trap music, we're about to get that back in like that 2013, where it was that party, Atlanta dope boy party type thing. That's about to come back. Bruno Mars is bringing New Jack Swing back. So just basically listen and don't take for granted what the industry is trying to say. Stop being rebellious to the industry. There's only one industry. You know, that's longevity, man.
No doubt. So tell the people, any artist who is willing to listen, you know, or willing to pay attention, or looking to gain value from your services, tell them where they can find you.
Chameleons Media, right here, 1418 Remount Road. I'm actually, as of next week, not this Monday, but following Monday, the 18th, I believe, I'm actually shutting it down to the public. We're going to go private. But I can easily be found, 843-708-6489. I'm here for advice, a lot of listening sessions. I still do beats. You can still purchase beats from me. Something I really don't push, and I don't really push selling the beats as much as I should, out of respect to cats like Mossberg and Damp and Baby Breeze and all those guys. Besides, it's a young man's game. You come to me if you want, most people come to me if they want the party record, if they want the club record, they want the radio record. But yeah, I'm easy. I'm a lot more accessible than what I used to be. You know, I'm in and out of town from here in Charlotte, and I do a lot of traveling, but yeah, I still have access to the radio, my commercials. So whatever you need, I'm right here.
Right. Well, tell the people who you are and tell them that nobody grinds like us.
Oh man, I'm the nature boy, Sean Dolby, the icon. Nobody grinds like the icon. Shawnee Sinatra, Chameleons.
Nobody grinds like us. The network, the DVD, the radio station. Y'all know we support the grind, we promote the grind, and we grind. So check out the artist. This is the industry.